Hey, I'm Emily with the Wix Collective, and today I'm going to be showing you how to add Wix bookings to your Wix website. Everything from the dashboard and setting up your services and staff to creating a really pretty and branded user experience on the actual visible site. So let's get started.
Okay, so first you're going to start out in the Wix editor, and then you're going to go down to the Add Apps button on the left-hand side. You're going to search the Wix app market for bookings, and then you're looking for the Wix Bookings app. Select it, and then click Install. Mine says Open because I've already installed it behind the scenes. And what Wix is going to do is it's going to automatically populate 4 pages on your site. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our menu and pages, and I'm going to show you what those pages are. Book online, the service page, the booking calendar, and the booking form. We're going to come back to these after we have our services set up, okay? But for right now, the only one that's showing up on our menu is the book online. So click on the book online, 3 little dots, click settings, and select hide from menu because you don't want anyone to accidentally book one of these sample services while you're working on your site. So click that to hide and then click publish on your site. All right, now we're going to move on to setting up the bookings. So I'm going to go to my Wix dashboard, and here on the left-hand side in this dark blue, or I guess it's almost black menu on the left-hand side, you'll see that when you added the app, it gave you booking services and booking calendar. So when you add the Wix app of the bookings, it's going to give you some sample services and classes and some sample staff. So I went ahead and deleted those. But you can use this if you want, but they just didn't pertain at all to my needs. And so I took them off. All right, so it's going to ask you to create a new booking service. And my clients here want to do a one-on-one booking service, like a consulting call. So I'm going to click one-on-one. And then it's going to take me to the service detail page. So the service type, let's just start at the top here. Of course, we clicked appointment. It could be a class or a course, but we're going to go with appointment for here. Now, this client in particular wants to have a 10-minute consultation call with prospective buyers of their high-level coaching course. So I'm going to do a 10-minute discovery call. Here I have changed the name and the tagline and also the image. And then I'm going to wait for the client to fill in their description as well here. Now I don't have a physical location. My dog is over here. I don't know what he's doing, stretching. But I do not want to have a physical location. This is just a video chat consultation. So I'm going to click on video conferencing. Now this is my client's Zoom account. And so I have it automatically connected to her Zoom. And then here I'm going to select how many minutes the duration of this discovery call is. And it looks like it's 15 minutes is all that I can select. We wanted to do 10 minutes, but I guess we'll just have to be happy with 15. And honestly, that's probably better because they need a little buffer time to just get Zoom to work or just have a little buffer time. Speaking of buffer time, you can also add buffer time in here, time between calls that can be booked. So the fixed price here is going to be not $10, but we're going to select no fee. And then we're going to make sure that this is hidden and only available to the people we want it to be available to, although it can be free to your entire audience if that's what you want to do. But here we've got a fixed price. We can also do a custom price. So the price description would be like starting at $5, price varies. And then what that means is you can connect to one of your pricing plans here. So that would mean if you have like a monthly group, then that would be included in the monthly group. But for now, I just want to do a no fee. And here we can again connect to an existing plan if that's what you want to do. Now, here are some of the cool features that Wix Bookings gives you. You can have several different staff be in charge of these bookings, or you can have several different staff to be available for these bookings. So here we've got all staff members, select staff, add staff, show their availability. So I'm going to show you in a second how to add staff members and then select them from here, this availability list. But for now, we just have one staff member, so we're going to select that. Now, if you want to have a cover image, this will be something that will be viewed on your services page. So let's just go ahead. I'm just going to go to Unsplash because this cover image is going to be like a banner across the top. So it's also stretched from each side of the screen on the display on the desktop and also on mobile. So I love that look because it's so sleek and clean. And I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. But something that you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure that you don't have any really important info or images or words or anything on that picture because it might get cropped out depending on the person's display as they're using it. So I like to go to Unsplash and just type in things like abstract. If I want to have something a little bit fancy behind the scenes, kind of like this one. So we're just going to select this one and add to page. They can always come back in later and adjust it per their liking. So we can add the service gallery here. This would be like, I would think, you know, if this is for consultation, we could show pictures of Sam and Brianne zooming with someone in a different scenario. If this was like a nail salon, you could do like different pictures of different nails or different spa services that are available during this session. So, and then alt text would be a descriptor for those images. All right, what do we have under additional settings? This would be, do you want someone to automatically be able to book this, or do you want to have approval and require approval over each booking request? Select that here. That if that was being said, you have to make sure you're watching for your notifications, and then you have to make sure that you're also charging them after the session or at the session, okay? And then we also have the option to select a custom booking form or a default booking form. So here, the default form, you can edit that here. I'm gonna save this. It's going to pop up here in another window, the booking form. If you want to have your name, email, phone number, number of participants, that's only going to pop up if that's applicable, like if you have a class or a course. And then the address will only pop up as part of the form if you have the client's place selected. So it's not going to ask for the address if you don't, if it's just like a video conference. Then you can add another custom field here. So on my website, I have a little paragraph field here, and I say, hey, what would you like to chat about? Or what are some questions you have about fasting? So I'm going to add that here. And then I'm going to make it required because this is only a 15-minute consultation. I really want the client, my client, and also their clients to get the most out of it and to be prepared. So I'm going to click OK. And then save form. Alternatively, you can have a booking form that is customized for this particular service, which is so cool. That was not available back in the day either. I don't think you could even customize your default form back in the day, but your custom booking form is going to look totally different and will be just applicable for the 10-minute discovery call. I'm going to leave that though. I'm just going to use the default one because we're only going to have one service available at this time. Scroll down, make sure that the default form is selected. All right. Now, let's see here, my display settings. Do I want this displayed on my site and app? Not yet, okay? And then that would be under our services. Now we can have different categories. So again, I'm gonna use like the salon example. If you had a salon that featured spa services, maybe like nail services and then hair services, you could have those under individual categories so that you could have multiple different services and multiple different categories listed, and it would just be a really great user experience. Here's also where you'd edit your SEO settings. So I'm going to save and continue. Now, I'm going to just show you the brief overview of the SEO settings. You can get into the advanced later if you so desire, but here you can change your title tag. This is what's going to show up on Google in the blue lettering, and then your meta description will be the description below. I would recommend the description being the description that you have on your service setup page here. And then I'm going to deselect let search engines index this page because this is going to be a private available, like a private service that is only allowed for people who are signed up as contacts or members of our site. All right, click save. So now we have our first service here. So I'm going to click save. Now, just to confirm, this is hidden on my site, so no one right now, as you can see with this little eye with the little line through it, no one is going to be able to book this while I'm adjusting all of these behind the scenes details, which is very, very important, okay? So on the left, I'm going to show you where to find your booking staff and calendar. It was also going to pop up here with adding taxes and running your business, but I'm going to show you how to get there without these little pop-ups, because these little pop-ups, they're there sometimes and they're not other times. So I'm going to go over here to booking calendar and click staff. So I'm going to start out by creating 2 staff members. Actually, I'm just going to create 1 staff member for now. And then I'm going to tell my client if they want to split and have 2 staff members, they can definitely do that. But right now I'm going to click add new staff member. Okay, so here, this is going to be the owner. He's going to be the one that will book consultation calls. So his name is Dr. Sam Sims. So I'm going to, I just inputted in all of his information, his full name, description, email, and then I'm not going to be adding his phone at this time. And then I put his little headshot here. And then I'm going to have him add his individual Zoom account. Click here, and then you can connect your Zoom account, and it generates a unique invite code for every single one of the bookings automatically. And then it automatically sends that booking link or that Zoom link to the client and also to the, in this case, Dr. Sam. So it's going to just really be so much easier to do it that way. You can also send like a custom URL if that's something that you want to do. I find that a Zoom account is a lot easier, but if you have a fixed URL that can be sent for every single meeting, you can do that as well if you have like a go-to meeting or something. Zoom is definitely easier though in this case. So staff availability, you can manually select what days and times and locations, which in this case we don't have locations. You can have those listed here below, and you can edit the staff availability here. I'm gonna hit click save and continue. It's going to give me a little pop-up here, and then I can customize staff hours. So that is where you would do that. Now I can also tell you that you can connect their Google Calendar, which might actually be better for someone who's really busy and who has things come up, and they can just update that calendar, and then the bookings calendar will reflect that. So, but this is where you would manually adjust it. Okay, it's going to load and give us the opportunity to go back to staff. And I'm going to show you where you would sync his Google Calendar. You're going to click here and click give calendar access. So it's going to send them an email, and it's going to say, hey, please set up your Google Calendar here. So I'm going to send that invite to him later when I can explain why I sent him that invite. And then he can connect his Zoom and also connect his Google Calendar so that he can show his available times and have the bookings calendar reflect that as well. So the booking calendar option here on the left-hand side is basically just for you to see all of the different available sessions, book sessions, and to be able to filter those sessions just to stay organized. So here you can filter by services, by staff, and then by location, and also by session availability. So if someone were to, ask you in person or give you a call and say, hey, I am wondering if you have any sessions available, you can just go in here and select to only show empty sessions or pending approval sessions. And then other events as well would be block time or from synced calendar. So if someone is, showing that they're on vacation, then that would be shown up here. Or if they have something from a synced calendar, like a Google Calendar showing up here, that would show as well. And then here you can select a weekly, daily, staff view, or a schedule. And then if you want to change your time zone, that it would be where you select here, a little globe. All right. So next, let's go to the booking settings. So we're going to scroll down here to the settings menu, select settings, and then select booking settings. So here is kind of where the nitty gritty stuff takes place. You're going to make sure that you know exactly what you want to do and have it all set up here so there's no confusion when people start making appointments. But click here for appointment hours. This is an overall appointment hours. So this would be overriding what your staff has already inputted into their staff profiles. If someone says they're available on Saturday, but you select that you're overall not available on Saturday, then it will not show up on the availability calendar. Let's go back to booking settings. Appointment time slots. A client can book, how many days can they book before? How much time do you need to prepare for this particular session? And then cancellation and rescheduling. How much time do you need for a cancellation? So if you did 8 hours before and then a cancellation policy, you can say our cancellation policy is that if you do not cancel before 24 hours and don't show up, you are still responsible for your payment. If you do cancel within 48 hours, we'll give you your money back, something like that. And then time zone display, your business's time zone or the client's local time zone. I like to select the client's local time zone, and then you can also let them choose between your time zone and theirs. That just eliminates some confusion because I've had people contact me directly and say, hey, I wanted to book a consultation call with you, but on your site it says 6 p.m. and I'm in Switzerland. So, I need to know exactly when the time is. So, if you let that be toggled on, it kind of gives them the opportunity to see what time zone they're viewing it in. And then appointment time slots. Customize how clients view your availability when they book. Do you want to base it on service duration or just every 30 minutes? And then if you are offering classes, you can toggle on this switch to establish a wait list. Clients will be able to join the wait list only through the Wix mobile app. If booking from your website, they'll be prompted to download the app. So this is something that you want to just be really careful with. It's cool, but it's also just another layer of possible confusion for your clients. So we're going to turn that off here. But if you wanted to have it turned on, you would have to make sure that they download the Wix app. And again, that just causes confusion because people are not going to generally know what Wix is. They're just looking for your site and services. All right, so we talked through all the availability and calendar. Let's talk about, we also talked about all the Wix booking policies and the booking form. We've already customized that booking form, right? Yes. So here we've got emails and SMS reminders. I love this. This is a huge feature that makes Wix bookings awesome. So it's going to automatically send text messages reminding you and the clients of upcoming meetings 24 hours before the session starts. You can also do more SMS notifications through, I think it's OmniSend. Yes, OmniSend, Wix booking emails, and SMS text messages. I love this. I have it installed on my site, and I just have the free version right now that I'm just trying out. You get free 50 text messages and 500 emails, but after that, you're going to have to pay. So I think it would be something worth looking into. I would recommend, as always, starting with the 24-hour session reminders that come free with Wix, and then upgrading to OmniSend if you're interested in that. Okay, next we have the email confirmation. So it's going to just do a standard email confirmation. Thanks for booking. Hi, insert your name here. Your appointment is set. If you have any questions, and it's going to just add all of that in there. And then you can add the video conferencing link in there as well, which I think is really, really smart. And then for classes and courses, you can change that there as well and send a test email to yourself. Next is the email reminders. So if you want to send one 24 hours before the session starts, you can edit that here. Add the video conferencing link, I think is very important. And again, with the cancellation email, it would be when someone cancels, Then the service you booked has been canceled. Okay, wonderful. Now let's go back to the booking settings. And the only thing left would be the booking form, which we already discussed. Now, I do want to tell you just kind of some next level stuff behind the scenes here would be in automations. So in automations, you're going to be given the opportunity to create a new automation based on something that happens in the Wix Bookings app. Let me tell you what I'm talking about here. We're going to click Start from Scratch. And then you would rename your automation here. And your trigger is going to be from the Wix Bookings app. And then the trigger would, you could use any of these. If someone books a session, if someone cancels a session, when they check in the first time, if they check in how many times, when they check in, when the session starts or session ends, you can go ahead and add a specific service here. We're going to click the 10-minute discovery call. What we want to do is we could send them an email, we could create ourselves a task, we could add a label to that particular contact. Any of these things would be applicable, but that's just another way to use the Wix automations to make your life easier and to stay organized and have a really good customer relationship, because it just makes you really organized and on top of things. All right, so that is everything you need to know about the behind the scenes of setting up the booking services and the booking calendar. I'm going to discard this automation at this time. So let's hop back in here into the Wix editor and start customizing how this will look for the end user. So right now, Wix is going to be using these sample services because my booking, I'm here back in the dashboard, my booking is currently hidden. So this page is hidden on my website altogether. So there's no chance of any of my users seeing this at this time. So I'm going to go ahead and click Show on Site. Go back to the editor. We'll see if it will reference it that quickly. Click Preview, and voila. My 10-minute discovery call is listed there. Now I'm going to go back to the editor, and I'm going to click Settings. Now, if you click Manage Services, it's just basically going to take you back to the dashboard to manage those services like what we just went through. But here, when we click on Settings, it's going to give you the option to edit the visual aspects of this page. So let's go ahead and click Customize Widget. Now it's going to allow you to show what kind of services you have. So if you want to show just one category, or if you want to just show one particular service, you can list that here. We just have one, so that's easy. Obviously, we're going to list it. Now let's go to layouts. You can do a side-by-side layout, overlapping layout, a strip layout, or a grid layout. So here you can adjust the service details padding. If you give yourself more padding, it's going to give yourself, it's going to look a little funny, but that's how you would adjust the space between the image and the text. Back to layouts. And then you can change the list title adjustment here, or alignment. So we want it centered. You could have it left or right justified. Let's go back to display. Here's where you can turn on and off the services list, or you can show the different tabs. And then you can filter by categories or locations. And this is the most important thing I think about this display, is knowing what service details you want to have listed. So here you can list the price, the read more link, the service subtitle, the duration, the divider. You just want to make sure that you have the information displayed that you want to show to someone to get them to book your call, but you also don't want to make it too busy. And then your service action button will be right here. Next, you can change the text, and that would be like the list title and the read more link. I changed this one to book a call, and then I changed the call to action button from book now to schedule your call. Then, of course, you have your design panel where you can change your text style your button design and the background and dividers here. But that gives you a little bit of overview of how to make this page look like your branding and your style. Let's move on to the next page, which is go to your site pages menu, your services page. Now, when we were talking before in the dashboard, while we were setting up our sessions, I was telling you about the cover image and how it could be easily cropped to, different desktops or different displays. And so it's good to have just kind of a generic image or something that doesn't have any important information on it. That is this page this image right here. And you can not stretch it if you want to, or you can stretch it. I think stretching it looks really nice, but it just depends on what your image looks like and what you need it to kind of convey. Let's go ahead and click settings though, and I'll show you a little bit about how to make this a little bit more user-friendly in my opinion. So let's click on layout, and I love this header, but I also think that when someone shows up to a website or a page, they want to know in the first 3 seconds what their next action step is. This is just a filler image and it doesn't really give them any idea of what to do. They have to scroll down and it has to be more interactive for them to move forward. And I want to make it as easy as possible on the user to book the session. So I want to show the service title and the book button here on the header. That's where you select it here, service title and book button. And then I want to make this header height a little bit shorter. So now not only can they see the header and the book now, but they also see the title and a little bit of the service information. So it just draws that in and it makes it really easy for them to first see all this information without having to scroll down, which is very important when it comes to user experience. So here you can see your image opacity, and I might actually turn that down a little bit. Yeah, I like that. And you can customize your image cropping if you have some sort of, image you want to have featured. If it's like, again, I keep going back to the salon, but if it's like image of nails or something and you want to have it cropped specifically, that's where you would do that. All right. We also have the ability to adjust the spacing on the rest of the sections down here. It looks really good how it is set up, but here's where you would adjust those options if you'd like to. And then the sections, this is new in Wix, you can update where they are listed. So if I wanted to have the service details above the service title, which I wouldn't want to, but if I did, I would click it like that. And then I can move them as needed. Now here I can adjust the section, edit. So I can, let me move this over so you can see what I'm doing. You can show in this section duration, price, service, location. You just adjust each section to your liking. So just to reiterate, each one of these sections, let's go like to the cancellation policy. Each one of these sections can be individually edited. So you have a lot of details here to make sure that you have in place before launching this page. Make sure that this page looks exactly how you want it to, so that when it starts referencing your booking sessions and sending people here, it isn't confusing for them. All right, well, let's look at the next page we have to edit. Go back to the pages menu, booking pages. Now we're on the bookings calendar. Again, we're going to find that in the bookings pages of the site pages menu. Select booking calendar. And we can customize the layout of this here. So we're going to click settings. And here we can customize this page with the layout. So we can select daily or weekly view and then adjust the text alignment. So let me show you where that text will show up. It's just going to show up right here above select a date and time. You can adjust your padding on the top, bottom, and side, and then the space between the header and body. Typically, Wix has it set up pretty good, so you don't need to make any of those adjustments to the padding or the space. But if you do, that's where you find it. Next, we're going to go to the display. So here we will, it's going to show you the, let's see here, sorry, I'm trying to move this out of the way. What would you like to show below the service title, the subtitle, the location, or the staff? So if you take off staff, oh, coughing baby over here, fake coughs. you can take off the staff filter or the subtitle filter here, and that's going to adjust over here under the booking summary. What subtitle do you want to show, the custom text or the service subtitle? And then what do you want clients to see when they first come here? Do you want them to see the current date or the first available date? All right. Next is what class time slots do you want to display? All available time slots, or do you want them to show or only the available ones? So you have the available, or do you want them to see everything, including full and closed slots? And then how many time slots are displayed per day? You can select that here. And then, of course, you can show the video conferencing badge. If you have something that is available by video, it will then pop up there with that badge so that people know that they can book that remotely. Next is a design, and you know exactly what that is. Just like every other design pop-up window in the Wix editor, you can adjust your layout, style with the backgrounds and borders, text, and different sections. All right, and then the text would be the headers and the filters, date and time, booking summary, and the book button. So this would just be all of the like calls to action here. You would edit on that pop-out window, and that would be like if you want it to be service name. Okay, sorry, let's go back here to text, headers, and filters. The custom subtitle would be like check out our availability. That would be adjusted here. The location label, the staff member label, and the duration label. That can all be adjusted here. This is so cool. This was not available back when I first started working with Wix bookings. This is just like amazingly detailed. So that's where you make those adjustments. The last page we have to look at would be the page of the booking form. Now we have in the settings of the dashboard already adjusted the form fields that we wanted to collect, but here we're going to adjust the layout of it. So select settings, again, change your layout, change your display, and change your design here. So it's all pretty self-explanatory. And once you get the rhythm of it, you can obviously breeze through this pretty quickly, but I wanted to show you where all the features were located. Once you are ready to roll with your bookings, go ahead and make your booking page visible. Again, go back to your pages menu and then select your book online page, hit the three little dots, hit your settings, and select show on menu. And you can change your page's title there so that if you want it to be something different than book online, that can be adjusted right there. And then click publish.
All right, so that is it. That's everything you need to know about Wix bookings. If you have any questions or if I missed anything in this video, please feel free to just leave those in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Also, if you want to book a consultation call with me, you can check my Wix bookings calendar at thewixcollective.com. Hope to see you there, and I'll see you in the next video.